Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Here's McDonald to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat, in every meeting with reporters. This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's McDonald. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early. Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on 3rd down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. McDonald sets to throw.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive is just... He rifles one, that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Bills, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Got an open man, finding Jefferson.
Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Mon. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked off near the 29. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Score Bills 7, Vikings nothing.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From the gun, here's Mon. Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Good positioning, and it's picked off.
And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
Right back to him on first down. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, or probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Now a throw here to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Out of the gun, McDonald.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Throwing is McDonald.
Flushed out right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
The kick by Bass is good.
And the lead moves to 10-zip.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Mon now off of play action. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it.
And the Bills are going to take over at their own 41.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We worked.
They've got his man complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Off the play fake, Mon. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45. And what a return as he brings us all the way back to the 25-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Bills are able to add on to their first half lead. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
He's going to air one out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 24. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions. Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
McDonald.
Flush to his right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Play action. It's McDonald.
Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first, this one from 38.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
2nd and 8 coming up. Now Mon.
Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Cook on the first down carry there as he works his way forward for a gain of about 4.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
Cook.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 5-yard line.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Slam.
They try again with Cook. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's